Hello, and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 502. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. I was giving Laura crazy eyes before we started.
I mean, I do love some good crazy eyes.
It's Friday, the 25th of September, 2020. Um, I have nothing witty to say, which is not unusual. It's finally cooling down here.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
I've
going to
been
get
able.
warm again this weekend, though.
I just hope it cooled enough to kill off some mosquitoes. That's my hope.
I think it has to freeze to kill mosquitoes.
Well, don't kill my dreams.
I'm sorry. I am a dream killer. I
Mm.
followed the mosquito truck around the other day,
Mm.
and I was like,
Breathing in those delicious, delicious fumes.
I do not like breathing in these fumes. So then I went a different direction so that I didn't have to anymore.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what a mosquito truck is,
You're so lucky.
in Mississippi, in this area, there is a truck with a giant, like, that belongs to the county with a giant, like, sprayer attachment on the back, and they spray things that kill, like, insecticide that
I don't know.
kills mosquitoes, but also it kills, like, other things that are related to mosquitoes, like lightning bugs.
Hmm.
It's another word for lightning bugs.
Fireflies.
Fireflies, thank you. So that's why we don't have fireflies in our area, but they do in Nashville. When we go to Scarrett Bennett,
Hmm.
it's always fun to see people who are from
Have
the
never
South
seen
and
fireflies.
have never seen fireflies, and it's always super fun. And
Yeah.
I always enjoy seeing the fireflies.
Yeah.
Apparently, at Cades Cove, I think, near my parents in Smoky Mountain National Park, they do like synchronized fireflies. Like they sync up. There's like this natural phenomenon that happens.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we'll have to go sometime.
Yeah.
I think it's like a thing that they pre-sell like tickets to because it
Hmm.
only happens at a certain time or something.
Yeah.
So,
That makes sense.
but anyway, would you like to go first or would you like me to go
I
first?
can go. I really don't have
Awesome.
anything works in progress wise to talk about. So, the only thing that I'm currently working on is crocheting squares. Lost my hook for
Uh-oh.
blanket, the cherry heart giant granny patches blanket. I'm on gold. I've got maybe 3 squares worth left in here. But I did find my,
Did you find your ring?
yeah, I
Did you
did. And
lose your
now,
ring?
yes, there it is. All right. So these are the colors so far.
Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, I love that gold in there. That
Yeah.
is good.
So it's kind of, some are muted, some are a little more saturated,
No,
but
I like
I
it. Are
think
you
it's a
gonna
good mix.
add an orange maybe, like a pumpkin?
Well, I couldn't find one before, but I'm going to go to Michael's this weekend because they had several spots were out of stock when I went last time.
Mm.
And then the next color is in here somewhere. I brought it up. Oh, it's this like misty blue kind of
Oh, I like that too.
color. And I've got one more that's kind of it's a different shade of this sage gray. It's slightly different, slightly more blue. Um, but yeah, so that's 10, 11, 12, 13, and I've got 14. So yeah, I think I need 3 more colors total. So
Oh
I'm going to go
wow.
this weekend and take my little
Oh, that's
collection
so
of
smart
squares.
too.
So that mainly so that I don't buy the same color again because I've done that twice.
Oh,
So
but
uh,
then you can always crochet something. You could do a giant, like granny, I love the zigzag blankets.
the chevrons, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh yeah, I can
they're my
definitely still
faves.
use it for other things, but um, But yeah, that is the only thing I'm working on. I have nothing else on the needles. I can't decide what I want to work on next, so I'm just going to work on squares until I figure that out.
Do you have like a certain genre of project
No,
in mind?
no, it's like analysis paralysis right now.
That's a good sock knitting time for me when I can't
Yeah,
figure out what else I want to knit. Is always a good sock knitting time.
yeah, that's true. Cast on some sport weight socks and get to it.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's me. What about you?
I am currently knitting on the Empower People bandana using the knit pattern by Casapinka. I'm using old rusted chair yarn, and I did find the tag. It was on top of the ball winder, so it's there. It is Mystic is the colorway. 231 yards of her Squish DK base, which is a merino wool. Um, and it looks like this. And it's knitting. I'm in the middle of a row, but it's knitting into a bandana. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
almost done, I think. I'm going to do the 22-inch size. So it's along this edge that you measure this bottom edge. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm knitting that on size 6 needles and just some old needles that were laying around to be put away, like my backup pair of needles that I'm just going to town on. So hopefully that'll get done this weekend. Other things that I have on the needles, I'm still working on. I did a couple rounds on socks on a plain socks. And this is Long Dog Yarns. And I was trying to tempt Leslie. She did a labyrinth collection this week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's her fall collection, so it'll keep coming up. That is absolutely gorgeous. And she's
They
got the
are.
like penny skeins.
They're the colors and the names are beautiful. She did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I've hit like max capacity for a little while.
Yeah, I understand. Maybe after you knit this next project and you see that little bit of room in your stash.
Once I finish this blanket, and that's 4,000 yards or something ridiculous.
Yeah. So this is Long Dog Yarns, and this is her Jawbreaker colorway. Hello.
Eh, so
Hey,
had to
Michael. Um, so yeah, this is her Jawbreaker colorway, and I'm knitting it on size 0 needles. I picked this up from Heart and Spirit, a yarn store in Atlanta, when they were at vending at Stitches United. And that's living in my Fat Squirrel pigeon bag. So this is the second one. And hopefully I can finish that this week as well, would be amazing. But I said that last week. So whatever. The thing that has been getting the most work this week is a baby blanket, also in the middle of a row. But it is out of one of the Karen cakes. I'll show you the
Mm-hmm.
cake in a second. And I have this much left on the first cake, and then a full cake of the second. This is a blanket that I knit last year around this time of year, actually. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit
The
earlier than
watermelon
you.
color.
Yeah, for a coworker. And I just cast on 85 stitches and knit and garter stitch on size 10.5 needles, and it uses 2 of these cakes. And yeah, so it's just a nice project to, it's what my brain is allowing me to work on right now. I don't need anything too creative. I don't need anything too fancy. Like I've got my cabled socks for that.
Mm-hmm.
This and the bandana are about my bandwidth right now, and I'm okay with that. Like some good garter projects. Now with the weather turning, I'm like, I want to make all the socks and all the sweaters. But I think this is a good choice for me right now. And there's no one specific that it's for, but y'all
That was going to
know
be my next question was,
my
does it go, is it just going
coworkers.
in the bucket or?
It's just going in the bin. Um, because this year I have two. Well, I had one newer coworker who just had a baby, and then my friend Jamie just had a little girl on
Mhm.
Thursday. Hey, Buff Buff. And then her name is Ivy. She's 9 pounds 1 ounce. And then my other friend is having a little boy that I knit the bounce blanket for in November. And Jamie, I knit the baby boxy for and some hats. So I'm actually ahead of baby knitting for once. I have some things to knit for that little baby boy. So there will definitely be some more baby knits coming. This has had several knots like this,
Mhm.
especially where color joins are happening. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting out the knot and I'm using a clasped weft join,
Mhm.
which is a weaving thing, where you basically hold the yarn doubled and it's a little bit more detailed than that, but to join so I don't have ends to weave in later. I'm also finding, I don't know what it is about this yarn this time, but it's a lot splittier. Like you can see how it's like
Mm.
kind of
Yeah.
almost in twisting than it was last time I used it. So I would definitely recommend if you're knitting with this yarn and you're struggling with splitting it, that you try like a duller needle point. I'm using my Licka bamboos on it. I think they're called Bamboo Grove or something like that. And that is about as much sharpness as I think this could take. So I don't know. But it is a nice chill knit, and I knit on it when the Steelers were playing the other afternoon. And I'm probably around halfway through the first skein, and I think this is my third knot. So
Wow.
it
Yeah.
is what it is. And it's definitely one of those,
I mean, it's a low cost acrylic yarn,
yeah,
so
low cost 100% acrylic yarn. And it's going to do the job that it's intended for, which is a baby
yes,
blanket,
some baby will love it to death. So,
very, very well. So, um, and it's great, once I have it in the bin, it'll be a nice thing to just have
hmm,
for a surprise baby shower, because sometimes baby showers sneak up on you,
yeah,
or sometimes you meet someone new. Like that's what happened with my brand new coworker. Like he had been my coworker for I think 3 to 4 days when his wife had a baby. So, and all little eagles get something. So that's the rule. Anyway,
Eagle is the mascot for the school.
yes. But yeah, I think that's about it that I'm working on. I still have the Little Known Holiday Club from Joanna Springs at Tolkien, but that hadn't gotten worked on. It just stayed in my bag this week. I didn't go anywhere where I needed some like weight in the car knitting, so it just kind of
Yeah.
chilled. And work was incredibly busy this week. So, but I got lots of things done, and you got to look on that positive for sure. So I have no finished objects, but I see you definitely have a finished object.
I do have a finished object. Um, so I have been working on for the past week or two, maybe. Been
I think
working on
this is the
URSA.
second podcast that it's real. You had cast it on the time before that, like on
Yeah.
the podcast. So
So I
2 weeks
finished
maybe.
URSA, which is a Jacqueline Cieslak pattern.
I love that.
Um, it is knit in Knit Picks Billow, which is 100% cotton yarn, although it's not superwash. Um, I don't I don't know why. I thought it would be, but
Maybe with the twist structure.
yeah, it's very thick and thin. So if you're considering purchasing it, do know that it is thick and thin. Most of the time, it's relatively even, but you do get some spots that are like fingering weight to bulky. Like it's very noticeable difference. But I don't mind it. I think it kind of adds to the charm of the garment. It has
Are you
not
gonna
been
try it
blocked.
on? Are you gonna try it on?
No, because through the magic of technology, I'll put a picture
But
here.
I haven't seen the picture.
And no matter how many times I think I know how big my boobs are, every time I see a picture, I'm like, Jesus. Um,
You
but
better
yeah,
send me
this
a picture. I want to see it.
I will. So this is brioche, and it's a cropped sweater, which I never thought I would knit a cropped sweater, but I do like the way that the designer styles it, and so I'll probably do something very similar. Um, the pattern was pretty easy. It's a top-down raglan. I do still need to reinforce the inner edges of the neckline and possibly the shoulders. I ordered some grosgrain ribbon, so I'm just waiting for that to come in. And then I'll sew it down on the inside so that
Do you need to
it'll help.
order that color thread too, maybe?
No, I can go to Joann's and get something close. Um, Guterman's got a good range of colors, so
Maybe take your swatch with you.
yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy that this is finished. It does need a block, but aside from that, a 2-week sweater is not bad. I'm pretty happy with
I
that.
love that. I need
Um,
to try my Ursa Minor. I need to cast that on again.
I was thinking about doing the Rift tee
Yeah.
next, but it's also in orange. Like I bought
Oh,
that woolen spun from Susan B. Anderson,
yeah.
and I mean, not that that's terrible that it's another orange. It's just unusual for me to knit orange in the first place, and to knit 2 orange things in a row might be
You
a little,
should, I'm gonna bring something up. I can't screen share though, can I? Um,
not on Skype.
Ooh, you should do, let's see, library.
Actually, you might be able to. There's a share screen button at the bottom.
Is there?
I make no promises as to how effective it is because I've never used it.
Should we do it live?
Do it.
Okay, let me find the pattern first. So I'm going to make, and I think you would like it as well. It's called Beachcomb. Let me see if I can see the share screen button. Share screen. This. Start sharing. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see.
Yes, I can. By
Okay, let
Tiff.
me. Yeah, let me make it big. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Also
That's,
kind of cropped,
yeah.
but I like it's got at the very top, see how she's got that pop of a contrast? Super fun.
It's hard to
And
see in that picture.
yeah, it is. Let me see if I can find another picture. Nope. Well, there's the contrast yarn that she put with it. There you go. Isn't
Oh
that
yeah.
cute? So it's just
Yeah.
like just that little bit, and then it's got that herringbone detail right there.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty.
So I got some Susan B. Anderson yarn, some fingering weight to do that out of, and then I think I'm going to use some hand spun. But it
Oh, for
only
the
takes
detail.
like, yeah, it only takes like in my size, which would be like a 50. It only takes around 3 skeins of a fingering weight. So I thought that was cool. I love her stuff. I want to buy
Yeah.
all of it. All right, let's see if I can stop sharing my screen now. Ooh, I can. All right, is it good?
Yeah. Look at
Yeah,
that.
I
Laura
did
the Tech Wizard.
technology. I am a tech genius for today. Oh, that'll be handy for when we do
The Sash Bash
uh
thing.
yeah, the stash thing. Oh, so yeah. And I'm sorry, I had my thing switched on the new Ravelry, so hopefully that wasn't too bad for anyone. I
Yeah, I
should have
think we
switched to
just looked at
Ravelry.
pictures, so I think probably it's okay, but
Okay.
if not, we apologize. It was not an intentional thing.
Yeah, it was on the fly. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that's going to be the next sweater for me. I do have an Ursa minor on the needles, that I cast on back in March, I should
Which is the
probably.
same thing. It's just no brioche, right?
That is correct. And mine is out of vintage chunky from Barocco.
Mm.
So, yeah. Um, I love your sweater though. It's super pretty. I can't wait to see what you cast on next.
Okay.
I have some spinning.
Look at that.
So this is the organic Polworth playing in leaves from Hello Yarn that I forgot about last week.
Mm.
And it's an organic Polworth, and it's 550 yards from 8 ounces. So I actually spent all the singles last month and then plied them this month. So yeah, it came out less peachy than I thought it was going to, which makes me happy. I think the greens really muted down, and there's some nice purples in there. So I'm
Yeah.
quite happy with that. I think it'll be a good shawl, for
It's a
sure.
very like you and Jess color.
Jess doesn't like purple, actually.
But it's got a lot of green in it though.
Yeah, she does like greens. And then the other thing that I have on my spinning wheel is the Nest Fiber Studio Falkland in the Rise and Shine. So this was the first half, and I finished spinning the second half the other day during a conference call, a Zoom, with the Daedalus folks, because they're super fun. And they do a Wednesday night Zoom chat, and you can find all the details in their Facebook group. But yeah, there it is on the wheel. And it matches my wheel, which makes me ridiculously happy. And I used the battery pack for the first time. They have a 15-volt battery pack that
Mm-hmm.
lasts like 12 hours. So it makes my wheel even more portable. So I have moved
It's
it in
great.
here. Yeah, enjoying it for sure. I need to get more bobbins or steal some of your bobbins since I am a thief.
Or just take things off of your bobbins.
I mean,
Why?
I am plying in the hip strings that I had spun the singles for in the Acadia colorway, the linen blend,
Mm-hmm.
linen silk merino blend. I'm actually applying right now on the
The
mini
mini.
spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's around halfway done. And I had the best of intentions today when I got home from work at 3 that I was going to finish plying that and wind it off and give it a bath and let it sit outside. And I took a nap instead.
Yep.
So,
No
that's okay.
regrets.
Nope. I hear there's a pandemic going on. And that was my self-care for the day, was that nap, for sure.
Oh,
Because
Buffy,
even though
you're moving.
Buffy left,
She was laying on my feet and keeping them nice and warm. She
oh,
just got to move.
because even though I didn't feel like I did a lot of movement today at work, I still got um 8,000 steps at work because I've done probably 400 in my house since I came home.
Yeah.
So, not too bad. Um but yeah, that's it for me for spinning. I have no reading this week.
I
So
don't
what
really
have
have a
you
lot. So I finished the Kate Daniels series. Uh, I love the description of the kid that she and Curran have, Conlon. Um, I think they do the um, Alona and her husband Andrew, right? It's Alona and
Gordon?
Andrew.
No,
Oh, okay. Or
Gordon.
Alona and Gordon. Um, they do a great job characterizing different individuals and like finding different personality traits to make them unique. They do a really great job with that. So I finished that series and I am rereading the Iron and Magic, which is the Hugh D'Ambre spinoff.
Yeah, I think next is Ryder and then another Hugh book maybe. And they announced the title of the new
There's a
Emerald.
Julie spinoff, right?
Yeah, that's Ryder.
Okay.
And they actually pulled it from their website this week. because it was becoming more like fan fiction and less like what the finished book's going to look like. So
Oh,
they pulled all the old stuff, which totally makes sense. I am 100% for that, to make it more in line with what this book that they're selling. Because they were
mm-hmm.
doing like an innkeeper thing, but they were writing it, they said like it was coming out more to make the fans happy versus
Right.
their style of writing, more like a fanfic. So that's not what they're going to publish.
Okay.
So they pulled it off their website. Um,
I'm glad they retain the rights to do that. That's wonderful.
yeah, like, because they're just doing it. I'm sure in a Wayback Machine somewhere it still
Yeah.
exists, but yeah,
Yeah.
this one's
So,
self-published. It's not Ryder's self-published. It's not what they're publishing.
oh, okay. That's
I
cool.
think they publish with Macmillan or Tor. I
I got
can't
a notice
remember.
from Amazon that it was coming out in like February, and I went ahead and pre-ordered it because
Yeah,
basically anything they publish, I'll read. I
yeah.
really love what they write. So,
And Julie's grown up in it, so
hmm and
um,
I forgot that at the end of the last book, she rides off with Era,
yeah.
the sister. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to see what they've been up to. So,
Yep. Anyway.
aside from that, I haven't really been listening to any podcasts this week. I was on call until Wednesday, so I just didn't have a ton of time. But yeah, that's basically it for me when it comes to reading.
Yeah.
I'm looking for new books in that same sort of Alana Andrews vein. So if you have recommendations, love to
And you
hear them.
don't like you didn't care for Patricia Briggs, right?
I mean, it was okay, but it's not. It doesn't have that same pull for me that Alana Andrews does.
Did you read the Alpha and Omega series or
I
just
tried
the
that one, remember,
Okay.
and it was like I tried it, but it was as soon as you started reading that first book, or maybe I started at the wrong book or something. I had no idea what was going on.
There's a short story that leads into the first
Yeah,
book.
I think
So
that was the problem. Was
I'll send you the name of the short story
okay.
because I have it, and you can look on the Kindle.
Yeah, that's what I think that was the problem. Was I was so lost as to what was happening.
Yeah, like
But,
the two series interact at some points, but I really like Alpha Omega a little bit better.
well, I'm happy to give it a try. Uh,
Yeah, I'm trying
anything
to think what
else?
else.
I worked on my overalls a little bit this week, but
Yeah, how are your ugly overalls?
uh, I've still got quite a bit to go. Here, let me grab them real quick. All right. Well, I've got pins in it, but oh, that's the back. So this is the front, and I've got the little patch pocket is there, and I've got the interfacing and stabilizer around the edges. Um, the little flap pocket, it has to get sewn down here, and there's a little belt where I'll have D-rings here that'll help tighten it. And so now I'm at the part where on the back, I interface the edges, and I still need to sew it together and pop it out and press it, and then I've got the straps to do, and
And all the hardware.
yeah, and then the hardware.
So you've made
So
some progress for sure.
yeah, it's I don't think I really realized how many steps this would take when I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
I mean, it is overalls.
Yeah, so we'll see. Um,
I hope they fit amazing and that you want to do them in a different fabric as well.
yeah, I mean they're loose. I intentionally made them bigger so that if I had to like do modifications, I could take them in much easier
Yeah.
than um, adding anything. So
Yeah. Pearl says hi.
I can hear her tip tapping, tippity tappity pearl. But yeah, that's what I've been working. I've done some quilting as well, but I'm not. I have a couple of kits that I got from like Craftsy.
Yeah.
Um,
back in the day.
And yeah. And so I'm working on one that's a baby blanket, not for any specific baby, just because I wanted something, kind of mindless to do.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still all in pieces, so I'll share a picture when I've got some progress on it where it looks like it's going to be a blanket instead of just a bunch of loose pieces of fabric.
Yeah.
So
The Halloween Craft All the Things is going on. It started on the 15th and it goes through November 1st. The hashtag on Instagram is TKG Halloween CATT. And we'll draw winners from both Instagram using that hashtag and Ravelry. And I don't know, what else is going on? Great British Bake Off starts today.
yeah, so if you have Netflix in the US, you will get the episodes 1 week at a time, just like last season.
Yeah.
Is it still Noah Fielding and
No.
huh?
No.
Oh,
The
the
woman
host.
host. It's still Noah, but it's not the woman Sandy. She left.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know the replacement guy's name. We will learn together.
okay.
And the judges are the same. And
Prue
then
and Paul.
Netflix also put out Enola Holmes, which is based on a really, really good middle grade book series that I read a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, that's like Sherlock's sister or something, right?
Yes, it's the book series is by Nancy Springer, so I'm excited to see how that goes.
Just turned into barf.
Ugh, the worst. I have a puppy that is now extremely needy because she realized that I was on a call with someone else.
You did not get that approved through puppy paperwork.
Apparently not.
Did not
My
fill that out in triplicate.
So, and now we're moving things around until we get what we want. The other day, she ran over to, I have an original Rick Reeves wheel, and she would smack at it and then turn around and look at me.
Look at me, I'm misbehaving, mommy.
So, dog. All
Okay, I
right.
think we're good to wrap this up. So, we hope that you have a lovely weekend, and we will talk to you again next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.